Have you ever wondered what it took to overthrow an entire monarchy and change a nation's social fabric? Picture this. The late 18th century, France is in the throes of a severe financial crisis. The coffers are empty, drained by years of lavish spending by the monarchy and costly wars. The common people are burdened with heavy taxes while the nobility and the clergy, the first and second estates, live a life of luxury, exempt from taxation. The inequality is blatant and resentment brews in the hearts of the third estate, the commoners who make up the majority of the French population. Now, add to this volatile mix the influence of Enlightenment ideals. Philosophers like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Montesquieu have been spreading radical ideas about democracy, individual freedoms, and equality. The seeds of revolution are being sown. In a desperate bid to solve the financial crisis, King Louis XVI convenes the Estates General in May of 1789, for the first time in over a century. This assembly, made up of representatives from each of the three estates, is seen as an opportunity for the commoners to voice their grievances and demand change. But when their pleas fall on deaf ears, their frustration boils over. On July 14, 1789, an angry mob storms the Bastille, a prison that symbolizes the monarchy's absolute power and the abuses it has inflicted on its people. They are seeking weapons for the city's defense, but they also have a larger purpose. This is a direct attack on the monarchy, a statement of defiance. The storming of the Bastille is not just a moment of triumph for the Parisian crowd, it's a spark that lights the fuse of revolution, spreading the flames of rebellion across the country. The people have spoken, they will no longer tolerate the old regime. As the Bastille fell, the first major blow to the monarchy was dealt, setting the stage for a radical transformation. Imagine a time when the fear of being branded a traitor led to mass executions. Welcome to the Reign of Terror. This chilling period of the French Revolution, from mid-1793 to mid-1794, was a time when the newly formed First French Republic took radical measures to protect itself from internal enemies and consolidate its power. The Committee of Public Safety, ironically named, took the helm during this time. Their mission was straightforward: to preserve the Republic from its enemies, both foreign and domestic. However, their methods were far from benign. The committee, led by the formidable Maximilien Robespierre, instituted a campaign of terror to root out those perceived as threats to the Republic. Under the committee's watch, revolutionary courts were established to try suspected enemies of the state. The verdict for most was a foregone conclusion. The guillotine, a symbol of equality in its swift and unbiased execution, became a frequent sight in public squares. The most prominent victim of this reign of terror was none other than Louis XVI. The once untouchable king was stripped of his divine right and brought before the revolutionary court. Convicted for high treason and crimes against the state, he met his end at the guillotine, a stark reminder of how the mighty had fallen. His wife, Marie Antoinette, followed him to the scaffold later that year, marking the definitive end of royal authority in France. Robespierre, the architect of the Reign of Terror, soon turned his suspicion towards his fellow revolutionaries. In a purge known as the Great Terror, he targeted those he believed were not fully committed to the revolutionary cause. However, this overreach eventually led to his downfall. Fearing for their lives, members of the National Convention turned against him, leading to his arrest and execution in July 1794. The Reign of Terror, a dark period of paranoia and bloodshed, resulted in the execution of thousands, including the once untouchable king and queen. It was a time when the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity were tested to their limits, forever changing the course of French and world history. From the ashes of a revolution, a new leader emerged. But would he be the hero France needed, or the tyrant they feared? In the wake of the French Revolution, the political landscape was ripe for the rise of a strong leader. Enter Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of remarkable ambition, intelligence, and strategic prowess. Born in Corsica, Napoleon rose through the ranks of the French military during the Revolution, making a name for himself with his tactical brilliance and decisive victories. In 1799, seizing the moment of political instability, Napoleon staged a coup d'état, effectively ending the French Revolution and establishing the French consulate. As the first consul, Napoleon began transforming France with a series of reforms aimed at stabilizing the nation. One of his most significant contributions was the establishment of the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of civil laws that served as a blueprint for many modern legal systems. It promoted equality before the law, secularism, and freedom of religion, while also safeguarding property rights. But Napoleon's ambition didn't stop at reforms. In 1804, he took a step that shocked Europe. He crowned himself emperor, marking the start of the Napoleonic Empire. The people of France, weary of political turmoil, largely accepted this, hoping for a period of stability and prosperity. Under Emperor Napoleon, France embarked on a series of military campaigns known as the Napoleonic Wars. With a combination of strategic genius and an army instilled with a spirit of nationalism, Napoleon conquered much of Europe. His dream of a united Europe under French dominance seemed within reach. However, the tide turned against him. Napoleon's disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812 marked the beginning of his downfall. His grand army was decimated by the harsh Russian winter, leading to a catastrophic retreat. Following his defeat at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, and the invasion of France by Allied forces, Napoleon was forced to abdicate in 1814. He was exiled to the island of Elba. But the indomitable Napoleon escaped less than a year later, returning to France for a period known as the 100 Days. His final defeat came at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, after which he was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he died 6 years later. Napoleon's reign, marked by ambition and conquest, ended in defeat, but his impact on France and Europe cannot be understated. His reforms modernized France, his military campaigns reshaped the map of Europe, and his life continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. Napoleon Bonaparte, for better or worse, left an indelible mark on the world. His story, from his rise to power to his eventual downfall, serves as a potent reminder of the dual nature of ambition and the fleeting nature of power. The revolution and its aftermath had ended, but what was left in its wake? The French Revolution, that seismic shift that had rocked the world, had left France bruised but not beaten. After a decade of turmoil, the monarchy was restored. The Bourbon king Louis XIV ascended to the throne, symbolizing a return to stability. Yet, the monarchy's restoration was not a return to the old order. The revolution had irrevocably transformed France and its people. The monarchy was now a constitutional one, with limits on the king's power. But the revolution's impact extended far beyond France's borders. It had ignited a spark that would spread across Europe and the world. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity had resonated with people far and wide, inspiring movements for national independence and democratic governance. The French Revolution also gave birth to modern political ideologies. The terms left and right, which we use so often today to describe political leanings, were born in the revolutionary assemblies of France. At that time, those who sat on the left of the president's chair were revolutionaries wanting radical change. The conservatives, who wished to preserve the status quo, sat on the right. These terms still inform our political discourse today. The revolution also reshaped Europe's map. It spurred the rise of nationalism, leading to the unification of Italy and Germany. The French revolutionary armies, with their ideas of liberty and national sovereignty, had inadvertently planted the seeds for future nation-states. More than 2 centuries later, the French Revolution's legacy continues to be felt. It is in our political systems, in our ideologies, and in our understanding of human rights. It challenged the old order and paved the way for a new era where the people, not monarchs or a privileged few, could shape their own destiny. The French Revolution, a tumultuous decade of political and social upheaval, left a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today. So, what are the key takeaways from the French Revolution? Well, it all began with a spark: the economic crisis and social inequality that ignited a revolution. This period saw the birth of radical ideas and fierce battles for justice, leading to the overthrow of the monarchy. The Reign of Terror followed, a time of extreme violence and political turmoil. Yet, amid the chaos, significant figures rose to prominence, notably Napoleon Bonaparte. His rise and fall marked a pivotal chapter in this narrative, leaving an indelible mark on France and beyond. The aftermath of the revolution brought about profound social changes and a legacy that continues to resonate today. It was a time of transformation that reshaped the political landscape of Europe, and indeed, the world. In the grand tapestry of history, the French Revolution stands as a testament to the power of the people and the enduring quest for liberty, equality, and fraternity.